Okay, thank you for joining me again. So in this video, I want to talk about cars. Cars. Should you or should you not take your US vehicle to Naples, Italy with you? This is what we're discussing. Okay, so let me tell you about me. I have a Honda CRV, which is kind of big. It's a CR, they're not that big, but medium size, right? And when I was reading the blogs and everything else, everyone was like, don't bring your car to Naples. It's so big. Oh my gosh. How are you going to navigate the roads? It's impossible. Don't do it. Oh my gosh. You'll be miserable. Don't bring that big car to Naples. Don't do it. Do not bring that car to Naples. So I didn't bring that car to Naples. But when I got to Naples, I realized as I was going through the NSA Naples parking garages that hundreds of people had Honda CRVs. So why was I lied to on the internet when they told me not to bring my CRV? This is where I should insert music where it goes like doo 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 doo. But I'm not gonna edit this video, so just pretend, use your imagination. Okay, now the music has ended. So I ended up buying a used car from a guy named Patrick Automotor or something like that. You guys know Patrick, right? Like in case you don't know Patrick is a guy who sells cars, and his shop is right next to NSA Naples support sites. It's right next to the gas station. There's a gas station called why did I just go blank on that? I just went blank on the name of the gas station. There's only one gas station that we can use next to support site, and basically his shop is right next to it, and he sells cars, okay? If you need Patrick's information, let me know. I'll link it down below. So I ended up buying a Toyota Corolla from Patrick's. I can't remember what year it is, but the car is amazing. The car is fantastic. It works so beautifully. I think I've only had like one or two flat tires, but that has nothing to do with me purchasing the car from him. It's because of the stuff on the road in Naples. But and I had to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for this car because I don't know how to drive stick shift. This is a great place for a music insert. I'm too lazy to edit this video, so just pretend. Okay, music has ended. I don't know how to drive stick shift. So, I had to pay thousands of dollars to get a used automatic car, which Patrick had. And I've had that car for 5.5 years, and the car is still going strong. Okay? So, automatic. Oh, and it uses diesel. I've never had a diesel car, but I'm realizing after having a diesel car for more than 5 years that diesel is the way to go. You get way more mileage on a diesel car than you do unleaded. I have my car in America is unleaded. Anyways, so I bought a used car in Naples. Okay, cost me about cost me a lot. Cost me more than $3,000 to buy that automatic car, European specs in Napoli. Okay, so now to answer the question, should you or should you not bring your car from America to Naples? Number one, the first thing you have to figure out or think about is where you're going to live. Because driving in Naples is not easy. It's crazy. Driving in Naples is crazy, okay? But it gets even crazier when you get into like downtown Naples, like Spacco Napoli, Via Toledo, or not even Via Toledo, like Quartieri Spagnoli, Spanish quarters, etc. So just boils down to where do you think you're going to end up living? If you're going to end up living on a base and just be driving to work, you can bring your big car because Naples has highways. You just drive on the highway and drive to the parking garage. You're good, right? You can bring your big car, your RAV4s, your big what do they call it? FV50s, whatever those Toyota trucks are called. I think F150s. You can bring your big cars. I've seen even Escalades. I've seen it. I've seen it here. Okay, you can bring them. So you have to think about, you know, where are you going to be living? If you're living on base, no problem. Now, if you live off base, where are you going to be living off base? Are you going to be living like in a subdivision, like a little quaint place, like a little parco, in Pozzuoli, or perhaps Lago Patria, Vacatoro, Licola, Monte de Procida, where else? So many different places. Where are you going to be living? Do you want to live in the city, like by the lungomare, by the water, or out in the suburbs? If you're going to live out in the suburbs, you can also have a big car, right? Based on your parco, you'll be fine. The problem with the big cars is when you want to drive into tight spaces, like in the heart of Naples or in the heart of other places, maybe like Palermo, Sicily, etc. It depends on where do you want to drive this car. So some people will have their big car and then they'll buy a Napoli, just everyday car, go and come car, a beater, which would be a smaller car which can maneuver you in and out of the traffic easily, right, and in and out of tight spaces. So at the end of the day, it just boils down to, do you really plan on driving that much into tight spaces? Yes or no? If you're the kind of person who's like, yes, I need to be in the heart of the city, you don't want a smaller car. But if you're gonna be out in the suburbs like me, Vacatoro, Lago Patria, Licola, etc., you can have, bigger cars. I mean, look at the Germans. Like, I have a lot of friends who are, or I know a lot of people who are Germans working for NATO, and nobody plays with their cars. And nobody's more serious about their cars than the Germans. The Germans will be out here with like the latest BMWs you didn't even know existed. The Germans will have them. The Germans working here at NATO. God bless the Germans. Brand new smacking BMWs that I don't even think the Italians knew existed. But, they're German, so of course. And I've seen them because, some of them are people that I know. I'm like, wow, you have this car in Naples? Mamma mia. So my point is, can you bring the big cars? Yeah, you can. It's just a matter of where do you plan on driving this car? You know, if you're driving it to work, you'll be fine because there's highways. Um, even be fine if you live like in a parco. So that's a decision for you to make. But honestly, the driving is so crazy here. I think if you have a place to leave that big car in America, just leave it. Especially if you're still paying for the car, just sell it. Just sell it. Just sell it and come to Naples and buy a used car. And you're done. That's it, done. Um, so that's that with the used car. Two, you will get a ration card for gasoline, no? Or for fuel. It's only for one type of fuel. So if you come and you have two cars, and one car uses unleaded and the other car uses diesel, that card is only good for one type of gasoline. So you have to figure it out. What do we want to use this card for? Which car? If you have two cars that use different types of fuels, okay? This is important. Also, many of the highways use tolls, but there's way around them. You don't always have to use the toll road. It just depends. Sometimes I use the toll road, sometimes I don't. Coming from the Lago Patria, Bicola area to get to the airport, the Capodichino airport, the area, right? So, if you want to pay the toll, going and coming, it's one way going and one way coming back. That's €1. So remember, the euro is heavier than the dollar. So one euro is probably equivalent to, I don't know, $1 and something cents each day if you're taking the toll road, right? And you can pay with card, you can get telepass. Oh, I just can't be bothered. Just I just have change in my cart and I drop it in. Or sometimes I give it to the man at the counter because the man at the counter, when you give it to the toll booth man, he always wants to have a conversation with you. So he'd be like, "Ah, bella, molto bella, come stai?" He wants to ask you questions about your life. Sometimes I'm in the mood for it, sometimes I'm not, but sometimes I just go ahead with it. I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing good. How are you? How's your family?" Because this guy controls the lever. Okay, if this guy isn't happy with what I've said, that lever at the toll booth, it's not going to go up. You know, sometimes you get the guys who are like, "Oh, molto bella, what's your telephone? Let me get your telephone." All in Italian, of course. But, "Oh, let me get your number so I can call you." Good and well this man has a wife and kids, but he controls that toll booth lever. It's like this. You need it to go up so you can move your car. So I'm always like, "Oh," I'm like, "No, no, oh, amico, oh, domani, domani, I promise, domani, I'll give you my number domani, domani." He's like, "Okay, domani, you give me a number tomorrow, it's domani, see." And then the lever goes up, and I'm like, "Ciao." Of course, I'm never going to give the toll booth guy my number, but I have to be nice to him because he controls that lever. And if he wants to have a 10-minute conversation with me, I'm going to sit there and have a 10-minute conversation with him. I remember once, so I'm getting sidetracked. I remember once I was going to the airport like at 5 a.m. and there's two guys at the booth and they were like, and they both knew me because I'm always like, going through the toll booth. And they wanted to have this like long extended conversation. And finally I had to be like, yo, airport, or like airplane, blah, blah, blah. Like I'm leaving, like my plane is like leaving like now. I need to go. And they're like, okay, we'll see you later. I was like, okay, cool. God bless those toll booth men. They're so entertaining. So, back to the car. So, you have to decide, are you going to bring your car from America or not? I told you one thing to think about is, where are you driving this car to? Okay? Where do you plan on going with this car? That's number one. Number two, you have to think about the gas card. The gas card is only good for one type of gas, okay? Um, those are the main things about the car. Oh, this is the most critical thing I feel about the car. If you bring a car from America to Napoli, where are you going to get the parts for your car? This is a problem a lot of my friends have who bring their American cars to Naples. Yeah, maybe they have their Toyota, their Nissan, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. But when they need parts for their American car, sometimes it's really hard for them to get parts for their American car. And this is something you have to think about because, yeah, you'll find dealers here, but you're in Europe. It's Toyota Europe. It's not Toyota America. Cars are made differently in different parts of the world. So this is an issue a lot of my friends have, finding parts for their American cars. And this is another reason why I personally think it's just easier to just buy a car in Italy, buy a used car. When you come here, there's a lots where people are selling their cars. You can go and look. They have their phone number and their information on it. You can go and look. They'll have a paper in the windscreen, in the windshield. And you can call them and say, hey, I saw your car in the lot at the base. I'm interested in your car. Can I buy it? And that's how most people buy their cars. Or you can go to people who sell cars. Like I said, I bought my car from a guy named Patrick. There's also a guy named Gino who also sells cars in Lago Patria. And, I'm sure he'll come pick you up so you can come to the lot and look at the cars. A lot of people I know have bought cars from Gino and they're so happy with the cars they bought from Gino. So there's so many options to buy used cars if that's the way you go. But hopefully this video helped you, and I was trying to share with you how I did things. I bought a used car from Patrick's. I've had the car for 5.5 years. Italian car, Italian specs. When something breaks, I take it to the mechanic. They fix it. Done. Easy. Basta. It's good. So yeah, that's what I did. And then when you buy your car, there's a place called MVRO. You will go there and you'll have to get car insurance. Either you will get USAA or Geico. Supposedly, I don't know if this is true. Supposedly, when you get USAA insurance, you can pay the insurance, I think, in 2 installments. This is what someone told me 5 years ago. I don't know if this is still true with USAA. It may not be true anymore. But I don't have USAA, so I had to use what used to be known as Geico. Now it's changed. They use a new company. It's no longer Geico. It's another company now. But when I had to pay for my car insurance, I had to like pay it all up front. And car insurance is kind of expensive in Naples. I can't remember how much, but it was definitely more than 700 just for car insurance. Yeah. So you will have to get car insurance for your car. And talk to people about that because supposedly some people are saying that there's another website, another place you can use to get car insurance, but I haven't used it, so I don't know if it's true or not. But so yeah, so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Whether or not you should bring your car from America or not, if you do, think about the car parts, think about how big the car is, and think about, do you want this car to get bruises on it? Because somebody will hit your car. You will get scratches on it. Somebody will open up their door too hard, too forcefully, and you'll get scratches on it. Do you want scratches on your brand new car? You may not. I don't know. It's up to you. Do you really want to be driving a big car if you plan on driving through the heart and the city of Naples where the streets are very tight, especially in Quartiere Spagnoli or other places within Naples or other places within Italy? You just decide what you want to do with the car. And I told you about the gas card, how you can only use it for one type of gasoline, one type of fuel, whether it's diesel, unleaded, etc. But it's only for one. And car parts. So these are all the things you need to think about when it comes to what you're going to do regarding a car here in Naples, Italy. But hopefully this video has helped you. If you have any questions, comment down below and I'll get to your comments and questions as soon as I can.